Hi, this is Mr. H once again for the Hot 120 staff. I want to thank the Hot 120 staff for allowing me to come out and talk to the hot topics. Based on the background, you can see I'm outside. I'm not going to disclose the location because due to the coronavirus outbreak, most people are supposed to be in the house, but I can tell you it's about 60 to 100 people out here. They are social distancing themselves, but I'm not going to disclose the location because I believe this place is supposed to be closed. Um, I want to talk about a hot topic. Some of you probably know about it, some of you probably don't. But in the past couple of days, I guess in the past 3 days ago, 3 days, maybe 3 to 5 days, past week, Peter Rosenberg um, overreacted, I believe. Be interesting to hear your opinion to some lyrics that were quoted by Jay Electronica. So they are Jay Electronica lyrics that Peter Rosenberg doesn't feel happy about. And to my point, I think he misinterpreted the lyrics, and I think he's overreacting and trying to use his status on the radio to bring issue to something that he misinterpreted. If y'all don't know, Jay Electronica on my left might be your right. I know you know Jay Z. Well, Jay Electronica just dropped the album after 10 years. I think people have been waiting 10 years for his album. It's called A Written Testament. Um, Based on what I heard so far, the album is hot. Based on the lyrics, based on the songs, based on all the tracks that I listened to, the album's hot. Uh, it might have been worth the wait. Jay Z's rhyming on it, and as if he's ageless. His flow has been uh, impeccable on it, and Jay Electronica is hitting a lot of, putting a lot of stuff out there and just ripping stuff up. And I think some of the stuff that he has said has hit Peter Rosenberg the wrong way, and Peter Rosenberg felt that he needed to express himself in regards to these lyrics. Now, on March the 14th, Peter Rosenberg tweeted at Rosenberg Radio um, these lyrics. He said, "My feet may fail me, my heart might ail me, the synagogue of Satan might accuse me or jail me." So these are lyrics that Jay Electronica said on an album years ago. But Peter Rosenberg, being so angry, didn't realize that he was actually tweeting lyrics from an album made years ago, which lets me know that he was highly emotional because um, why would you tweet lyrics from an album years ago uh, on the day that the new album came out? So it lets me know that he was so upset that he wasn't even conscious of what he was thinking. Um, Peter Rosenberg also tweeted in that same tweet, "Not feeling this bar from Jay Electronica. I know I'm not the only person who felt a way about it." So even in that, first of all, he got the wrong album. All right, he made a mistake on the lyrics because he was upset about those lyrics years ago. But if he's talking about the new album, those lyrics that I just quoted above are not even on the new album. And he's also trying to get other people involved and to feel what he feel. Okay. Um, Not saying he don't have a right to feel what he feel, but we think he misinterpreted the lyric. I think he misinterpreted the lyrics. Be interesting to see what you think. Now, the lyrics that got Peter upset, the correct lyrics would be on the song that Jay-Z and Jay Electronica are on. Okay, called "The Ghost of Soulja Slim," "The Ghost of Soulja Slim." And the lyrics go, "And I bet you a Rothschild I get a bang for my dollar. The synagogue of Satan want me to hang by my collar." That's the lyric. Okay. So Jay Electronica quoted those lyrics. What I mean quote, he said the lyrics. Those are his lyrics. So he's not quoting somebody, but those are his lyrics. And these are the lyrics that Peter, in his emotional misinterpretation of the lyrics, forgot to put in his tweet, as opposed to the lyrics that he put in his tweet, which lets me know he's been mad at Jay Electronica for some while, and he's been holding this in. Now, let's go into how he misinterpreted the lyrics. The term synagogue of Satan comes from the book of Revelations. 2 times in the book of Revelation it is mentioned. And if, for those that don't know where the book of Revelation is, it's in the last book of the Bible. Okay. Now, Peter Rosenberg, who supposedly had went to Hebrew school, should have known these scriptures, or should have been taught these scriptures, or should have known when Jay Electronica was referencing the synagogue of Satan, what he was talking about. So let me read the scripture, and then let me give you the reason why he misinterpreted and is causing a ruckus for something that Jay Electronica didn't even mean. Okay. So it says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. And that's Revelation 2, chapter 2, verse 9. Then it's mentioned in Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but lie, and make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I love thee. Okay, so the bottom line is this. Okay, the reference of synagogue of Satan does not refer to a person that's a true Jew. So it doesn't refer to all Jewish people. You can only be part of the synagogue of Satan if you say you are Jewish and you are not. So the question becomes, is Rosenberg Jewish or is he not? And if he's not, is he lying about being it? Because if he's Jewish and he's not lying about being Jew, then the reference to the synagogue of Satan shouldn't offend him. But if he's playing to be Jew, disguising himself as a Jew, and he's not Jewish or practicing the faith the way he's supposed to, then he would be of the synagogue of Satan. So he misinterpreted lyrics. When Jay Electronica said the lyrics, he did not throw the whole Jewish people in there. Okay. He did not make reference to the whole religion of Judaism. He did not say that every Jew is of the synagogue of Satan. He did not say any of that or do any of that. What he said is, I bet you a Rothschild I get a bang for my dollar. The synagogue of Satan want me to hang from my collar. You know anything about the Rothschilds? Huh? Did you know that there was a relationship between Jay Electronica and one of the Rothschilds' daughter? I think she was also married to Ben Goldsmith, or were involved with Ben Goldsmith, who was a banker. But if you don't know anything about the story, the Rothschilds are bankers. Okay, the father Rothschild, the grandfather, sent 5 of his sons out to 5 different parts of the country so that they can control the banking in those 5 different parts of the world. And they did a successful job, and as a result, they are the family that control most of the banking in the world, even to this day. So he said, I bet you a Rothschild I get a bang for my dollar. The synagogue of Satan might want me to hang from my collar. So bottom line with that is, if you know anything about the Rothschilds, they finance they have a history of financing 2 sides of a war. So they will finance the righteous in the war and the unrighteous. You know, I give you an example. they would finance Hitler, right? Somebody like Hitler. Let me just give you an example. They would finance somebody like Hitler, and then also finance the Jews who are fighting against Hitler, or the world is fighting against Hitler. So in that regards, a lot of times when people say Rothschilds, they refer to them as being the synagogue of Satan, not Peter Rosenberg, not all Jews, not the Jews that are doing what they're supposed to be doing, carrying out the faith, believing for the return of the Messiah. Not those Jews. Peter's overreacting. He's misinterpreting lyrics, and it has to be another reason for that. And I'm gonna put it right here, and why I believe that he's overreacting. Well, we know that there's a relationship between Minister Farrakhan and Jay Electronica. We know that Jay Electronica has studied under Minister Farrakhan, studied over Minister Farrakhan, and so therefore I think the overall issue that Peter Rosenberg have is that Minister Farrakhan is on the introduction of the song. Okay. Even though in that introduction he doesn't say anything about the synagogue of Satan, but if anybody know the history of Minister Farrakhan, he has said, okay, in his speeches, okay, that those who lie and say that they are Jew and not Jew, profess that they're Jew outwardly but not Jew inwardly, are of the synagogue of Satan. So I think that Peter Rosenberg is transferring some of his anger with Minister Farrakhan onto Jay Electronica, and he shouldn't do that. He shouldn't do that. The other question is he indirectly mad at Jay-Z for allowing Jay Electronica to say those lyrics on that album, put it out that way? Or is he overreacting? What's your thoughts? What's your opinion? What's your comments? Let's talk about it. Please subscribe to our channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can be notified. Now, the reason why you need to subscribe to our channel is because we do our research, we do our homework for the best. We're not perfect, but we try to give you substance, not no clickbait stuff. We try to give you substance and talk about the issues that's really relevant. So in reference to this topic, I would like to hear your comments. If you know Peter Rosenberg, send this to him. I think he's overreacting. I think he's acting out of fear. I think he's acting in relationship to some of the stuff that has happened in, I believe, New York in reference to blacks and Jews recently, the 2 attacks that have happened on the Jewish community, which I believe is wrong and foolish. We don't promote violence. But I also think that out of that fear and out of that frustration, Peter Rosenberg is overreacting. What do you think? Is what he doing justified? Was Jay Electronica wrong for the lyrics? Or is Peter overreacting? Peace. Subscribe.